Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne with Back to Earth Creations and welcome to my craft room. Today we are making some wire wrapped rings. I'm trying to get there we go, tablet up and going. I'm going to go in and click my own like button and put it into all messages instead of talk chat. So we have some cabochons that we're sending out in our August craft along kits, and we've also sold quite a few of them in our shop updates in previous weeks, which I think is fantastic. Well, hey Barbie, how's it going? How are you doing today? And so I'm going to be showing you guys how to wire wrap these. We do have a tutorial out for it, but I need to get some more made just for me and my own booth. Um, and then also, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to get to hopefully be helpful to some of the folks who are in our Happy Crafter Club who might want a live demonstration or just craft along with us. So, Barbie says, I'm good. Oh, that's good to hear. We're doing well. We're doing well over here in our neck of the woods. It is hot. And so, if you hear very loud, also, oh, hummingbird, hummingbird alert. And I'm caught on my own charger and can't spy on the birds. Where's the bird at? Ah, it's still there. Wee hummingbird. Do you see it? You can see its butt. It is just a tiny little dude. There we go. What were we talking about? Oh, there it goes. All right, we can get back to work now. Yeah, I gotta make jewelry for our booth for the upcoming Dragon Con, which is very exciting. Hey, Artsy Dragon. Hey, Softy Girl. So I'm gonna be prepping for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rings. So we're going to do 3 in the antique copper. I'm going to do 3 in the vintage bronze, and then I'm going to do 4 in silver. And that's just because silver tends to be the best seller out of our booth, but you know, the vintage bronze and antique copper sell well enough also that they are certainly worth making. And I want to measure off 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 16 inches is what I'm going to give myself, just because I want to make some projects out of the scrap as well. Barbie says, I'm going to get my wire and work with you. Right on. We're going to be streaming for the full 2 hours this morning. And if I wrap all of these cabs, then I'll just go and get some more. And then these I literally pulled from the stock that we'll be sending out in the August kits. So these are very representative of what your grooved labradorites will look like in your August kit. Hey Sarah. Sarah Williamson says, good morning from Oregon on this beautiful Sunday. It is beautiful, isn't it? We're here in southwestern Missouri, so it is like just sweat. Sweaty, sweaty, sweaty. But that's okay, because it's also windy, so it's like a convection oven. So, but that's all right. We'll take it. Deb says, I got my kit. Thank you for the careful packaging. The post office dropped it in a puddle. They ran over it, but the wire and stones survived just fine. Oh my gosh, Deb, I'm so sorry that the post office is the way that it is. I'd rather have heat than snow. Oh, normally I would kind of agree with you, but our air conditioners are out. I don't know, I don't mind the cold until it freezes my pipes. Yes, Barbie, I am using 20 gauge. A person could use 18 gauge, but it's going to get a little bulky here on the shoulders. And I find the 20 gauge works best nestling into the groove on a project like this. But yeah, no, so we're like, the heat is inescapable. Fortunately, the air conditioner, the window unit in our bedroom is still working nicely, but we can't run multiple air conditioners at once, or we blow a fuse. So we would rather have a nice cool bedroom to be able to at least sleep well. Within the rest of the day, it's just you can probably hear the roar of the box fans. Um, but that's okay. We'll just it is what it is because we are moving to our forever home in September, and I am so excited for this to be happening because it's got central air and insulation in the walls, and not to brag, but like all of the windows have glass in them, and like the roof is intact and the foundation isn't sinking. Like I am so excited. um Good plan on the AC, yeah. Hey, chick with an edge. Hey, Mary. We're doing really well today. I'm gonna go ahead and do, should I do, yeah, I'm gonna prep all the wires first just because this is how I do. If you guys are crafting along with me, I am cutting 16 inches of 20 gauge wire. Excuse me. And I am cutting 2 wires per ring. I'm doing 10 rings today. No flooded basements. Well, there was some flooding on the property, but it is because some of the off drains from the spigots got shifted around to where they were all dumping water right by like the basement door. So this should not be an ongoing problem. Like we're not in a floodplain, we're not anything like that. Bobby says heat, you can only get naked. Cold, you can always add somebody. Yeah, that's true. Insurance, yes. Well, but the thing is, though, y'all, the current homeowner is one of my best friends, and I've never done anything to be so deserving of the amazing people that I have in my life. But she's renovating the entire house. So all of the flood damage, all of that's repaired. Like it's going to be pretty amazing, I think. Did I cut enough for 3 or 4 for on the silver one? But I don't know what I did to deserve this, but it's more than I feel I deserve. But yes, we're going to have renter's insurance because we're doing an extended lease with option to purchase, and she's maintaining the homeowner's insurance. So yeah, we're moving next month, Mary. I'm glad you're moving earlier than expected. Yeah, well, we start in September packing. And we're gonna, like, coming back from Dragon Con, we're actually dropping our booth off at the new house. Um, which is amazing. And then coming home and doing a little, like, here to Missouri and doing a little bit of a turn and burn. To then go back out and meet with an electrician to make sure that the breaker box and fuses and stuff can support all 3 kilns in that one room that we want to put them in. And if they don't, then to get whatever needs done with that. And while we're there, Randy and I are also going to be painting and putting in flooring. And I don't know, we're just kind of taking it as it goes. But those are some of the things that are on the agenda, whether they get done in September or later in October. But we'll be doing the first U-Haul in October. So it's gonna be busy and wild, but it's just everything that we've been working towards for the past decade. So we're excited. So there's the 3 rings worth of vintage bronze. And again, just so anybody who's crafting along with us, did you get the plastic wrap? Yes, I did, Barbie. Thank you so much. It's going to be so helpful. We missed you in the Friday and Saturday streams. I was wondering, hoping everything was okay. But that plastic wrap is going to come in so handy. So thank you so much. You're bust for sure. Hey, Steffi Joe. And the thing is it feels like this year has been just wild go, go, go since, since the water line burst in January. Like, we've not had, I'm really glad Randy and I took advantage of the little bit of downtime that we had in January, because that's all we got. That's all we've gotten. So bubble wrap you need? Barbie had sent some like shrink wrap, saran wrap style, like big, like what you would use to wrap a pallet that's been loaded with things, and you wrap it and it like holds it all together. I don't know that we'll need bubble wrap. We've been hoarding garbage for a while, so like all the packaging materials and stuff. Everything is good. Traveled for my granddaughter's birthday. Aw. Well, happy birthday to your granddaughter. Alright, so there's the wires for the copper. And again, we're just using 20 gauge. And I like to use Parawire because it's easy on the pocketbook, it's easy on the hands, and it's very easy to wear. You don't have to worry about it tarnishing or turning your skin green. We have just been chugging cold water. Oh, Mary says, I'm so happy for you all. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're so excited for this to be happening and to get to share it with you guys. Right on, Steffi. Can I take you up on that offer after Dragon? I'll have a much better idea of our needs after Dragon Con. So we had somebody ask how we resize our rings on the fly. And I'll demonstrate this again in a little bit, but my hands are like swollen from the heat. So I need my ring sized up a little bit. I'm going to go from a 9.5, and this is just how I would do it in the booth. And then I'm going to just wrap around like this so the whole ring is supported and gripped. And then I just push and twist the ring mandrel up and through. And I'm going to get it up to a size 11. Nice and comfy, no squeezing. Each wire, Deb, I've cut to 16 inches and 2 lengths of 16 inches of 20 gauge wire. I have a metric crap ton of bubble wrap because, well, I'm a hoarder. And you let me know anything you might need or planning to have to spend money on. Right on, Steffi Joe. Well, thank you. Okay, you guys. I'm going to start with a copper one, just because it's closest to me. And I guess I'm going to wrap this big, ooh, look at that. Big shiny teardrop. And don't hesitate to let me know if you guys want me to zoom in or zoom out, or if I'm out of frame. I'm going to be using a ring clamp, kind of just for this first step. I want to find the center and be offset just a little bit. And then I don't be gentle with my clamp. I really cram that wedge up in there. That way it's holding on to our work really nicely. And then I'm going to bend our wires into a 90-degree angle, rough about. It doesn't have to be geometrically perfect, but it helps me to get more consistent twists on my wraps that I'm about to do. Artsy Dragon says, I'm with you on loving Parawire ever since I found them, and I think I heard of them from you in one of your videos. I'm a gold VIP member because of how much I get. Wow, right on. So to get even twists, you want your fingers to be equidistant away from the center point where the twist is happening. So I'm gonna be kind of chucked up on it, but what I mean by that is I don't want, if I do this, they're not going to twist around each other evenly. Whereas if I twist down close up on it and my fingers are equidistant apart, like applying pressure here and here. And I'm going to do 4 twists. And I'm just going to set that ring clamp off to the side. This thingy here has been the biggest game changer for keeping my craft desk organized, because there's a different spot for each of my pliers. So there's my wire snips, there's my nylon jaws, here's my mandrels, here's my round nose pliers, and then I actually have some pliers in the other room, but my flat nose and bent nose styles, and then pens, and you know, a cup burr, and just some different things. The ring clamp, and then up here, up top, we have specialty cutters. So memory wire cutters, just some scissors for when you need them. And then I also have my wire wrapping thimble with some Nextcare tape, a crimp bead smusher, and then just some other. This was an example. I wanted to keep these on hand because I wanted to be able to show people what I. Sometimes folks will ask, what do you look for in a pair of pliers? It's like, well, I like pina coladas and long walks on the beach, but I like for my pliers' jaws to be well aligned. Do you see how, like, I am closing this as hard, all the cat fur is free. I'm closing these pliers as hard as I can, and the tips are still not touching. I can fit a whole fingernail. And that's my least favorite thing when working with pliers. Is otherwise everything about these pliers was great, except for I don't know if I need to take this outside and like hammer it on an anvil or something to get that to close up for me. But it just, especially whenever I'm picking up chainmail rings, it just didn't work out as well. I had bought these from Hobby Lobby to send to my niece because she's making a lot of the scale mail for us for DragonCon this year. And I was like, I can't be sending her these. That would make me wild. Steffi Jo says, ooh, I should just take a video to update my progress in the craft room. I hung my pliers on the wall. Nice. That is so cool. Yeah, wall space right here, I love having the big window, but it totally denies me the pegboard opportunity. So, but, oh man, I do love a nice big window. That is something I'm going to miss about here. But we'll figure it out. So on an odd shape, like a teardrop, we can still, I just want to choose where I want the center point of the ring to be protruding from the side. And I'm just lining things up into the groove. And I like for my right hand wire to go over the left hand wire. But that's just because I like to twist away from me. And so now we're here, and I'm going to line these wires up, and then I'm going to twist 2, 3, and before going much farther, let's see, I want to make sure that all my wires are nice and nestled into the groove, and then I'm going to come in here and whoop, 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 just rubbing, burnishing kind of that wire into the groove with my nylon jaw pliers. And then I'm going to use my flat nose pliers because normally I'd use my bent, but they're in the other room. And that's okay. But I'm just going to twist that around, making sure that it is nice and tight and snug. And so now this right here is a fundamental. I'm just tightening that up a little bit more. Again, making sure that the wires are actually in the grooves as I tighten them. You could incorporate this into all sorts of different wire wraps, you guys. Like, we could take this and wrap it around like a big crystal. You could take it and wrap it to make like a bottle ornamentation. It doesn't have to just become a ring. Very similar concept over here I had used a little grooved cabochon to add into a wire and silk floral circlet. So these groovy cabs, the uses are endless. Ooh, for first attempt, the shape that's the easiest is either, I think, an oval or a round. Um, just because it's a little less obvious if they're off center. Hey Kitsune, how's it going? Yeah, that's my trade in the basement. No windows. Yeah. Lots of storage space though. Hopefully. Alright, let me get this in just a little. There we go. And then using a ring mandrel or a pill bottle or anything that's like the size of your finger. I like to make my rings the largest that I can, because then you can see on the side there how I resize it. Yeah, it's pretty nice, Tessa. I really like it. It's the best system is one that I will use, because there's systems out there that are like, oh man, so much nicer. But if I don't actually put my tools up in it, then it doesn't do me a lick of good. Um, Steffi Joe says, more than I did have, that's for sure. I might be able to get it organized before I croak. You can do it, Steffi. You've got this. And so I've just wrapped the wires without crossing them over each other around like this, and then just bending up and bending down. Now we do have a full-length tutorial on this as well, so if you're just popping in and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm lost, we have a full-length tutorial that goes over this step by step. But I'm also going to try to get 10 rings wrapped in today's live stream, so we have lots and lots of opportunities to keep demonstrating. Trying to figure out what to make next. Right on. Steffi Joe is loving that butterfly. Me too. And so I'm just going to wrap around and through. Cool. Keeping those wires flat and next to each other. And then I'm going to take the wire. No, I'm not going to do that next step yet. I want to make sure that everything is nice and flat still. Giving it a squish with my flat nose pliers. Hey Stowe, how's it going? Welcome on into chat. Using Tupperware and standing my little bit of tools up in there. Right on, that works. Organized is organized. It doesn't matter if it's in Tupperware or like a Fabergé egg that opens up and it's got plier organization in it. It's just gotta work. Okay, and so, though, if y'all recall, I had made like a little like jewelry box for myself that was encrusted in labradorites and different things, and I swear I'm like low-key tempted to just do a really cool like border around this that has like Celtic knotwork, or I don't know. I think it'd be really cool to at the very least wood burn something beautiful onto the sides of this, just to make it my own, you know. I don't know. Because utilitarian is nice, but if I can cover it in stickers that make me happy every time I look at them. But also just the sleek, like, I don't know. Sometimes less things to get tangled on is okay. It's pretty good. I just need to chill out and enjoy some art. Well, we're all about that. Good morning, Sarah. How are you doing today? Hey, Lita. And so I'm going to take the wire that's closest to the top. And what I mean by that is like closest to the cabochon. And I'm just going to start a little spiral. And I put my finger over it to try to keep it from becoming too three-dimensional, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. It helps me to keep things more symmetrical if I do one step on one side and then the other, that same step on the other side. And I just want to do enough turns that it gets it lined back up to where both of those wires are going off to the side. You get a Randy Bun sticker. I love that. And then I'm going to trim off some of the excess, making sure that it is the wire that we just made our spiral out of. I'm just doing like a finger width of wire. Oh, Lita says, I was wondering if you would be able to groove the cabs with a Dremel. That is doable, Lita. There actually, I can't remember the name of the channel, but there is a YouTube channel that has some videos about adding a groove to your cabochons with a Dremel. And the lady, she instructs some different techniques and things that are helpful, but I had found I wasn't steady-handed enough, and so I'd recommend practicing on some cabochons that you don't mind kind of goobering up first until you get the hang of it. And now I'm just going to use my petite round nose pliers to make a nice little spiral. We have a whole wire wrapping masterclass just on spirals. It's an hour-long lesson that's intended to be crafted along with. That way you're getting lots of practice. But that makes a nice little like scroll. And then this wire here, I'm going to thread through. And we're just going to do a wrap. There's one wrap. And then there's a second wrap. And on that second wrap, that's where I like to get in there with my pliers. Give it a little smush. Or a little snip. I gotta go get my other pliers. I'll be right back. Alrighty, y'all, I have returned. Ah, Lita says, I forgot to get several of mine grooved. Uh-oh, I've been looking at the machine you use, but just nervous. Right on. It can be a little bit of an investment, but do not be afraid of the machine. Whenever I'm grooving things, like I can touch it directly, and I'm okay. It'll saw right into my fingernails, and I'll get like little grooves in my nails. But other than that, like, just practice basic, don't wear anything long and flowy, wear your eye protection, wear your ear protection. But it's, if I can do it, you can do it. You've got this, Lita. I find the machine to be much safer and consistent than a Dremel. Ooh, Sarah says, have you ever thought about doing more sewing stuff? I would love to do more sewing stuff. I would absolutely love it, but it's just, we're busy with what we're busy with currently, and I think until after we get moved, our current obligations are inescapable. Right? Oh, a ring saw or a grinder? Because the Griffettes are surprisingly affordable, and Hobby Lobby actually has one that I think is less than $100. I've not used it, but it's definitely on my radar for if my groover breaks, and I need to get another one immediately, without having to worry about it getting shipped or something. Alright, so there is the ring. I just want to make sure that there's no, pokey bits from where we snipped our wire, and that's feeling pretty good. And now to do the sizing, it's a grinder. It's a Griffette grinder that uses a jewelry bit that is shaped kind of like a top hat. Here, I can actually show you guys. Field trip. because we have a couple of different tools. There's that doggy. We have a couple of different tools that we use for this. Oh my god, it's 1,000,000 degrees in here. Actually, it's 461 degrees in here. So this is where all the magic happens, you guys. I've got my little light here so we can see what's going on. I put it in just a bin, but it's a Griffet diamond grinder. And you can see here, that's the little top hat that adds the groove. Because what we would do is we would take a cabochon and it would be turned on and we'd go like, and it would yum, 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 and it would make the little groove in the edge. Whereas this right here is a ring saw that doesn't have the blade in it currently. But yeah, there's a ring saw blade, and those are fantastic for cutting out intricate shapes into the glass. That's how we would make our moons and different things. But so those are the two different tools that I use in my cold working of glass and stuff. Gotta make sure and turn the light off, ear protection. But yeah, and so I'll try to, if anytime that I'm cutting or drilling anything with glass, I do like to make sure that I'm using a very blurry diamond bit and have it in water. But as far as making a nice even cut, you'll want something that's diamond edged. Tripping over a shower curtain. Oh, I am looking forward to the new house. Well, because, okay, nothing's wrong with this house on the inside that isn't my own fault as far as, like, being cluttered and stuff. But every single room in this house has at least 2 rooms worth of function crammed into it. So, like, my grinder room is also part of my deep pantry. So I've got, like, cans of, like, dried beans and canned water and crap in there because, you know, I'm a little twitchy. Right on. Gotcha, yeah. But no, I just wanted to be clear with you, because sometimes I'll get mixed up on what the names of things are, and then I'm trying to Google it, and Google's like, lady, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, Google, please, you know what I'm talking about. And it's like, here's, I don't know. No trippies, yeah. Well, hey, hey, Ghosty, how's it going? Ooh, at least get a stationary holder for your Dremel to push your stone into rather than trying to handhold grind. Oh, that's a really good idea. What's a stationary holder? I was already a tripper, but I'm getting vertigo or something here lately. Oh, really? No, I haven't been able to see my feet ever since I got boobs, so I'm always tripping on stuff. Alright, so to resize it, I'm just going to come in here and grab like this, and I'm going to press with my finger, and then I'm going to go like up like that, grab it on the other side, press with my thumb, up like that, so it's going like, hey. Secrets unveiled. Hey Christina, how's it going? How are you doing today? And then I'm going to go like, and then I'm going to go like, and I know what you're thinking, that doesn't look good at all. But we're going to stretch it back out into shape and size. So I'm getting it onto the ring mandrel and just pressing with my fingers. And then I like to get them all sized up to about a size 7 because that's what displays best on our displays in the booth. Like the finger rings, the display is like this big of like a little nub, like a little ring display nub. And if it's too small, it doesn't sit down deep enough on it. It looks like it's precariously perched, and I want the rings centered on the display, so if we do them too large, then they fall all the way to the bottom and aren't very visible. But not me staring at my spare wires and rusty pliers thinking if I should take up another crafting hobby. Well, you've come to the right place to be enabled, my friend. So spare pliers and rusty wires. Love company. You should definitely pick up another hobby. 100%. Good. Just doing chores at home. Nice to have you working parallel to my work. Nice. But yeah, so that's, I like to come in here. I'll just use the side of my pliers to push these wires back up against the mandrel. I have works in progress. No, works in progress, love friends. Works in progress sit in the corners of my craft room going, one of us, every time I start a new project. All right, so we did an antique copper one. And we can kind of tighten and tidy that up a little bit too. Look at that's much nicer whenever we just reinforce. Now that we've got the positioning down, we just get that together. Kind of squanch these rings to where they look like they're friendly with each other. Oh, that'd be amazing, Sarah. Also, the grooving machines are a worthwhile investment, and it is my hope that groovy cabochons will kind of pick up in popularity because I think it makes it such a fantastic way to get into wire wrapping. And just as a wire wrapper, isn't it fun to get access to new styles of beads and different things that you can incorporate into your own artwork? So, oh, Tessa says I'm starting with polymer clay, and I will try wire wrapping some pieces. Oh, that'll be great. Steffi Joe says, man, I really don't want to do outdoor shows, but there's so many good local opportunities. I'm going to have to get a dang easy up tent again. Right on. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of how to put it. Because I don't want to do outdoor shows either. But when the opportunity arises, I just make sure to plan around being really, really uncomfortable and have the things on hand to remedy my discomfort. So, lots of clip-on fans, lots of shade, kind of build my creature comforts into the easy up. That way, you know, whenever I'm melting in the 100-degree heat, at least I have, I don't know, popsicles and something cold to put my feet in. Gotcha, Steffi Joe. Can't wait to see your yoga room set up with your crystal bowls. I'll have to get some crystal bowls. But that would be wild. That would be wicked cool. If I had crystal bowls, I already know where I would put them. I'd put them on the fire around the fireplace. But Anita says we are looking at doing some fall shows outdoors, so we're looking for a new pop-up too. Right on. I do recommend like the Easy Up brand ones. Stay away from anything that has like the slanted legs because its footprint is 10 by 10, but then you only get like an 8 by 8 canopy top. Okay. Oop. And I think Randy and I paid like $200 for ours years and years ago, but it's got a carry bag with wheels that it actually fits back into. The canopy top has held up really well through all sorts of vending and camping, and it was a heavy-duty enough frame that we've held up well through rain and storms and wind and different things. So, okay, so here, that's a good question. Barbie says, how far from the wire are you starting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm at like inch 7 right here. I don't know where to source them yet. The closest I've gotten to finding them is aquarium pebbles. Gotcha. And aquarium pebbles are a fantastic thing to practice on because they are very irregular. But I recommend looking for if there's a local like geology or lapidary club in your area. Oftentimes there will be people who will like bring equipment to the lapidary club so you can try out cabbing. It's just something to, I know that there's one in Tullahoma, Tennessee, that we used to be really interested in, and now it's close enough that we might be able to go again. There's also the William Holland School of Lapidary Arts in northern Georgia, but I'm sure you can find, those are just the two off the top of my head that uh, I'm thinking of, but you might be able to find something like that unique to your area. So we're coming in now around an oval cabochon, and I'm gonna like super duper get zoomed in here. So we had it at 90 degrees to do the twisting. So I'm gonna bend these wires out to where they are just nice and in a line. And then I'm guiding that wire into the groove. There we go. And it doesn't have to be perfectly snug. We're going to be cinching this here in a little bit. And then trying to get that lined up with the other side. So we just line it up and then, well, there's 1, 2, and 3. And you can see that is not very tight on it, but there's also very little wiggle. But something like this can get distorted over time. I just love that. And this, again, that was just one of the cabs that I grabbed from the bin of labradorites that I've grooved for August's craft-along kit. So this is representative of the quality of cabochons that you'll be getting in your kit this month. Ooh, my Divine Creation says, I ordered the largest kit. Will any of the cabs have a groove? They will. 2 of them, your 2 labradorite cabs, will have a groove in them. And then I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to cinch in like so. And you can see, look at how much tighter the twist is now on this side versus this side. So I'm going to come in here, splay these wires back out, and making sure that the wires are in the groove, I'm just going to grip it and twist it. I don't want to twist so much that the wire starts to bite through itself, but I want there to be no wiggle of that cabochon in its wire setting. And that we seem to be good to go. So we get to move on to the next step. Well, hey, baby girl, what's up? Well, do you want to come wreak havoc? You want to wreak some havoc? Yeah? Yeah, let's wreak havoc. Yeah. Oh, what a good big kitty. Oh, full of rage and vengeance, yes. Why are you so mad today? Oh, my sweet baboo. My wickle bickle. Baby butt. Behold, my boss. We just had a storm. Oh, goodness. I hope everything's all right, Giovanna. She's vocal today. She is. Well, she likes to, when she's awake, she yells for attention. So we're like, okay, we'll pet you. We'll pet you. She must inspect the wire. Bright and sunny in Tucson, Arizona. Well, for now, I should say. Love the thunder and light rains. Oh, that's nice. I got a Ryobi Mr. Fan. It sits in a bucket, but instead put it up on an ice chest full of ice water. It really helps you keep cool because it blows nice cold air for hot outside fairs. Kimmy, see, that's a great idea. So Ember just wants to put her butt on everything. So cat fur is always free. Look at that. She's so sweet. I just want to give her, oh, do you got an itchy spot? She makes crazy face when she's got itchy spots. The boss. Hey, Peggy. Hello. I'm just working for the doggies, right, Anita? Kitties rule. Hey, Tim. Patootie box. She's a good kitty. She really is. Ember, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. She's like, yes. Yes. Worship me harder. Our sits on our papers and books when doing work too. Yeah. It is the way. But she's 19 years old. I think I have a picture somewhere of the very, it might be on like our Facebook or something, but of our very first, here's some cat butt, just to get you through your day. Oh, actually, let's peek at some beans. Oh, yeah. She's like, Mom, don't do that. Them little putty beans. Putty beans. She got little mottled pinto beans. She hates it when I touch them. But I can't help my little self. Oh, look at the beans. She's with crack because her from potato. And the beast was done. All right, let's see if we can tell beans. Let's see if we can get some work done. Any advice for people going to be having their first show ever? Yes. First off, good luck. That is so exciting. Like, nothing like the first show. I highly recommend doing a mock booth setup, whether it's in your house or in your front yard or in like a Walmart parking lot somewhere. Okay, make sure also that you have the front of the cabochon facing outward. Because doing a full-on mock booth setup, you're going to realize we don't have any zip ties, or I don't have enough earrings to fill the earring display. And that way you can know, oh, I should make some. It really helps you set your priorities. And then also it helps you to identify any blind spots in your setup. So if you have, you're standing at the front, from the customer's perspective, are you able to see, like, I make dirty little piles of like all of my stuff that looks so unprofessional, so I made sure that there's places where I can hide my shame from the customers, behind the table, just to help things look like tidy and stuff. And then also from the vendor side of the table, when a customer's on the front side and they're reaching forward and like, shopping pendants or something, are you able to see what their hands are doing? Because not only does that help prevent theft, but it helps you as the salesperson to be able to, I treat it like whenever they touch, like, oh, like these rings are out on our ring display. And the person reaches and they touch this one, and I'm like, it activates my NPC dialogue of, now that ring there is fully adjustable, and while it looks like copper, and it is, but it has been covered in an enamel, so you don't have to worry about it tarnishing or irritating you if you have metal allergies. So so it just activates my trap card. But but yeah, so it's important to be able to see their hands because it helps you to assist them in their shopping, because people don't know about our pieces unless we tell them about our pieces. They might just be presuming something about it from based off of something they saw on TikTok, or like, so you don't know what a person doesn't know or what presumptions they might be making. So clear communication with your customers is always ideal. And I'm trying my best to be better about that, because we've done it for so long that I'm like, how can anybody not know that these aren't, or that our earrings are hypoallergenic? I've said it a million times, and it's like, well, it's their first time. It's my millionth, but it's their first. So let's make it magical. Oh, it's going to be a Comic-Con, so it's going to be indoors, and I think our table is 8 feet wide. Ooh, right on. Is that 8 feet wide? Like, is it a 6-foot table and a 2-foot opening, or do you get a 10-foot space with an 8-foot table? I see a kitty butt. Hey, Andrea, that is definitely a kitty butt. It's the business end of a mad cat. Oh, Tessa. Tim says 19. Awesome. My oldest cat was 21. I'm hoping Ember has a few more years in her. I'd like for her to get to enjoy the new home and some air conditioning. Is that my blood? Am I bleeding again? Are you bleeding, Ember? Or is it? I don't know what's going on. I was doing some glass work this morning and had gotten cut up a little bit. But that's okay. She's mad because I was showing everybody her beans. But Tessa says, miss my big boy. He used to sit with me when I did creations. After he passed, I kind of stopped doing all my beadwork. Oh, Tessa, my heart's with you. When we lost our Millie dog, she was my buddy. And she would do, like, well, Callie would do leather working with me. And, yeah, I understand. All things in their time. Be sure to decorate your booth if possible. We used to do a few bazaars. Decor can draw in a crowd, or just fun little posters and place cards. Yes. Oh, My Divine Creation says, where do you recommend we buy the Parawire? Directly from parawire.com. We have some sample spools up on our website, but Parawire has the best price per foot, which is, they're the manufacturers. They should have the best prices. My friend is doing all the booking. Right on. Well, that's nice of your friend. But yeah, I'd find out the exact dimensions of your booth. I'd plan on never rely on shared aisle space with other vendors, because we've done conventions before where there's supposed to be a space in between every single booth that's used as like aisleway, but sometimes vendors will be like, no, that's part of my booth, and they'll block the opening, which usually the convention takes care of. But I've also had some folks, like I've had neighbors at conventions, because we've been vending since 2008, so we've seen a lot over the years. Like we had a 6-foot table, or an 8-foot space with a 6-foot table, so we left our 2-foot space so that we could get in and out of our booth. And the neighbors saw that, and they just took up their full 8-foot space and then just used our entry and exit, which I thought was a bit of a dick move. So don't be that neighbor. Like, but stick to your own space and, be friendly, and you'll do fantastic. Also, make sure that you set up any payment processing that you're going to be doing and things. Anything that you can have prepared before you're actually at the event, the better. Like we actually practiced, even just with our own debit card, doing like a $1 transaction just to make sure we understood how our little square card reader worked. We made sure we had business cards. We made sure we had little gift baggies for if and when a sale is made. Vendors, when there are plenty of space around their booths. Oh, free real estate. Yes. What? Andrea says, regarding Parawire, you are also guaranteed to get genuine Parawire from Parawire. Amazon resellers have spun other wire onto Parawire spools. Oh, that's jip. That's mega jip. You could keep your opening in the middle of your booth. That is a possibility. And I've met people who have had fantastic results with a U-shaped booth, with like whatever you call it. It's where the booth, instead of, like if you have a 10-foot space, instead of having your frontage, like your 8-foot table just across the front, folks will have the table like this. And that's something that can actually be really effective at smaller shows where you have less foot traffic, but you have more on display. And so, because you can really, how many people can you fit inside your booth looking at your stuff at once? And then also, where are you putting yourself in this setup? So yourself plus 2 or 3 other people, and your booth is completely cram-packed, and you only have about 3 feet of frontage, or maybe 4 feet of frontage on the end for new customers who aren't in the booth to look at. So at smaller conventions, I've seen that booth setup work well, but at larger conventions, you can still only fit 3 to 4 people inside your booth. And if you're at a craft show and somebody with a stroller rolls in, which they will, um, like nobody's leaving their baby in the aisle. You know, they're gonna bring their stroller and everything into the booth. Um, and so I feel like Randy and I lose out on taking advantage of the increased foot traffic when our display is in like this. We always do, if we have a 10 by 10, we'll do a 4-foot table here that we have like our checkout station on, and then a 6-foot table here so that we'll still have like a 2-foot wide opening to come in and out of, but we can still fit 3 people across here. But then we have our backdrop so the row behind those 3 people can see what we've got going on. And ideally, we've had the best results with actually investing in 2 10 by 10s. That way we can do 16 feet of frontage, a 4-foot space where people who are interested can come into the booth and shop our costumes in tie-dye. And then we use our grid panels to make, I've got a thing in here. Here, let's see. Giovanna says, I meant an opening for you in the middle with 2 tables on each side where you go in and out only. Oh, that's an idea as well. I wonder if anybody's tried that. I'd want to make sure that the 2 sides match really well. That way folks won't get confused about if it's 2 separate vendors. Can a person buy Parawire from Parawire without a business license? I think so. So let's see. Let me scroll through and find. But I'm pretty certain I have some old booth designs in here. Oh my goodness. I need to do better about organizing things. No, I don't want to duplicate that. Is it in here? No. But yeah, I'll do planned out layouts for like camping and everything. So like what I'm looking for is a similar booth setup for that I had drawn up in here. Hey, Ember Kitty. Is it under blueprints? Yes. Oh wow, this is a much older booth setup. So this is one from when we were on the we were on the 3rd floor, so we still had like the fitting room and our back stock and stuff. This is mostly the only thing I do on Procreate is make blueprints, apparently. Here it is. Okay, so this is our current booth setup. So this, we get a 10 by 20, and this is one of our 4-foot metal wire things that we keep all of our garments on. We can fit 3 dragon heads on top of there, and we actually have a false back on our booth that we make with like a little right here. That's a 2-foot wide by 8-foot tall grid wall. That's a 2-foot wide by 8-foot tall grid wall. And that's the same size grid wall that we do in like a T. And then we make a corner support bracket with the shelves and curve bars. And so that supports, we do a horizontal between these two. Here's another T, and then here's another T. And that's what we display everything on. But that way people can come in here and shop the costumes, but it still leaves all that table frontage that normally Maddie and I are helping customers on this end of the booth, and Randy and Amy are helping customers on the jewelry side of the booth. So, and that, but this way we can keep our back stock, our empty hangers. This, we put a table here, and I'll scooch a chair over, and that's where I wrap the dragon heads with bubble wrap whenever they go off to their new home. But back here, this is like my break room where I'll just hide and eat a sandwich because I don't like people, like I'll make like unintentional eye contact with people while I eat, and that can be weird for them. So I'll just go hide like in the cabinet, so it's not like watching a capybara just chomp down on a bologna sandwich or something. But yeah, so I hope that's helpful. Let's see. I'm gonna get caught up. Ooh, well, hey, Ember. She getting resituated. I'm gonna try to catch up on comments. Gotcha. You do not need a business license to buy from Parawire. Excellent. That's a good question, though. I have a setup where the tablecloths have my logo on both of them so they know both booths are mine. Right on, Kimmy Sue. Okay. I don't have a business license, but I buy Parawire all the time. Right on. Just wanted to let you know I've been getting lots of compliments on my silver ring. Oh, Andrea, I'm so happy. We normally have a 10 by 10 setup. We do a Z setup with a shelf in the back for clearance and a grid on the front leg with the tent. Right on. And that's the thing, Lita, is that something that works for Randy and I might not be ideal for someone else, and something that's, vice versa. So a lot, Ember, okay. All right, this is, oh, my sweet baby. This is what the craft cat is demanding. But, so everybody's going to find their own favorite way. She's just molting for you guys. All right. Hey, Brenda, how's it going? Did I finish that ring, or is the cat still on it? Pardon me, baby. Okay, the cat's still on it. But the important thing is to experiment and listen to your internal feedback as well as the feedback that you're getting from your customers. And I'll usually, like if I'm at a slow show and it's going terribly, I am not going to rearrange my booth in the middle of the day. But normally they give you a little bit of time to get covered up in the evening, and most places let you come in a little early. And that would be the time that I would rearrange my booth. But it's kind of tumultuous to the show, like to the event that you're at, to just rearrange your booth in the middle, and it can be confusing to customers, and they'll think that you're tearing down, or it's good protocol to not tear apart and rearrange your booth in the middle of the day. Now, that one of the big exceptions of that was whenever we were at a convention in Memphis and there was a pipe leaking in the wall and it was soaking everything. So we had to, obviously shuffle around in the middle of the day. Y'all share your booth layouts on the Facebook group, Vaughn's Monsters. I'd love to get some ideas. Oh, that'd be cool. You could post to the YouTube community page as well. I'm hoping to do a show and tell in today's Kick live stream. That's from 3 to 4 p.m. We're going to be doing a shorter live stream today just because the live streams do kind of cut into productivity. Oh, another question on the polymer clay side. I absolutely love all these questions. How how thick are your cabs if you do those in polymer clay? I like to use a thinner cabochon with polymer clay if I can, just because it doesn't require as thick of a piece if I want the cab to look like flush mounted. I use particularly thick cabs when I'm adding the groove because I like a minimum of 2 millimeters of material on either side, just to keep it from chipping too easily whenever we're wrapping it. But yeah, just getting that sized up. So there's a second ring. Whoop, I'm gonna take this one and 2 silver wires. All right, Aunt Lita says for sure we have so much stuff left over from evolving our setup. Right on. But yeah, coming in about 7 inches from the end of the wire. And if anybody has any questions or wants something in particular demonstrated about this project, just let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to keep trying to power through and do some high octane productivity, which is really hard when there's such a cute little kitty thwarting all my plans. Well, there's 1 twist, 2, 3, 4. Sarah says, what time zone are you in? Central Standard Time Zone. So it's currently 12:04 in my neck of the woods. Now, also something to keep in mind is the orientation of your cabochon. Sometimes when it's an oval or a marquee or a teardrop, you don't really get to pick the best flash angle. But with a round cabochon, you certainly do get to pick your favorite flash angle. So just something to keep in mind. And we're going to come in and twist 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to split these so that they match. And here you can see, very wiggly. Like, lots of wiggle. Too much wiggle. Ember, you're throwing all my wire on the floor. It's not very cashmany of you. You must let me touch the beans. She said, no, no bean touch. No beans. Blue, 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 blue. Oh, my sweet baby. Okay, I won't bother your beans. I'm a bean botherer. Alright, so now we're going to come in and making sure that the wires are nestled into the groove. I'm going to give it a little twist. And what I mean by that is, like right here, you can see that wire not in the groove. So if I just push it down just a little, well, now it's nice and aligned. How many times did you wrap around the ring on the sides? I'll go into detail on that on this ring, Barbie. So we're going to twist and twist. Excellent. Yeah, being able to display multiple necklaces at a time or multiple pendants at a time, there can be a fine line there. Sometimes I'll have too many pieces on a display and none of them will sell. Or whereas if I put 3 out instead of 5, then, you know, we'll be moving all 3 of those designs. So we're getting these wrapped around like this. And I like for these wires to stay parallel to each other as opposed to twisting around, just because I find it more comfortable for on the finger while you're wearing it. And so from here, I'm going to press up, and I'm going to bring these ones in, and I'm just going to press down. And then I do a full wrap around on each side. And then I'm going to remove my ring mantle. Do you ever make it over to the Pacific Northwest? Not currently. I hope to one day. But I think that's something that we would do, like, flying. And so I don't think we'd be vending it. It would mostly be if we were doing, like, a teaching tour. which I kind of love the idea of booking like a luxury train and doing like a 3-day wire wrapping seminar or something on a train. Um, or something. But we'll also probably just book like a La Quinta conference room. And so here, Barbie, I'm just doing one solid wrap with both wires. And that I find that holds pretty well. And then giving it a nice solid squish on each side. Right on, Tessa. And so for here, I want to twist up and around. But yeah, if y'all know of any like local bead shops or craft stores that have space in them for rent or that would host classes, let us know, because I don't know when we will do a teaching tour, but I would love to go back out on the road and teach at different bead and button shows and gem and mineral shows, and just anywhere that it's pertinent and makes sense to be teaching wire wrapping and or chainmail. So, but I like teaching. I miss it, and but I want to go where y'all are, instead of having everybody have to come, out to just one place once a year. We could hit multiple places throughout the year. And that way Randy and I get to travel and stuff. But I just want to go on train rides. Distant Star Arts. Hey, Distant Star says, I just received a shipment of banded agate cabs, flat wire, and half round. Going to be a pumpkin making mode for a while. Oh, that's going to be wicked cool. It is that time of year too, isn't it? So then I've just done 2 little wraps, of the spiral. And making sure I follow that wire, I'm just doing about a half an inch. I think it's like 5/8 of an inch is how wide my first fingertip is. But so there's that. I don't want to be next to her face too much because I don't want to bother her. Where's my pliers? Under that. I just have my pendants on a 3D printed display. My son made it. Holds 5 pendants. I just include my chain and let the customer know that all my pendants come with a chain or cord. Right on. Yes, we'd had a question about that a little earlier. Oh, let me scroll through and see. Um, Ooh, Ghosty said, also suggest that if you're planning to bring a lot of stuff in containers, bring a smaller table for yourself. Yes. If there's enough space for it, just for storage. Yes, 100%. We do. I thought I had seen a question about chain. We do sell chains separately to our customers. We'd had too many folks be like, I don't want the chain. Can I get some money off? And I'm like, well, no. So we just upsell the chains for $5 because a lot of people do have their favorite chain that they'd rather have instead of having, a bunch of tangled stuff. So, but it lets us have a really high quality stainless steel chain as opposed to something that might turn them green, and so, and we used to do like leather cord and stuff for like $1, but I got tired. But yeah, a lot of folks sell the chains just included. And then I do love your leather necklace holders. Do you sell your necklaces with the chain on them? I have a really hard displaying one. Yeah, well, the necklaces, the chain and everything is included, but the pendants, we have that little hook board that we had made, which is basically just one of the grid panels of like for the grid cubes that I put some leather and like backed with foam. I think we did a tutorial on it a while ago, but it's still the same concept. but it's got these little wire hooks on the front that the pendant's bail just slides on. And that way they sit like that. And that lets us display a whole lot more without the chains getting all tangled and things. Hey Amanda, how's it going? Yeah, I've seen some really amazing, people are really upping their booth display game with like 3D prints and like, I've seen some folks who did like some really cool like foam board to make it look like rough stone, but it's very lightweight and like kind of pieced together to display larger things on. Like, oh, that's really cool, Kimmy Sue. Minor hexagon. Very cool. And so I'm wrapping once and then twice around. And then giving that a snip. And then I'm going to come in right here and give that a squish for no pokey bits. And then, so is this the part that you were asking about, Barbie? And so there's one. And then two. Hey, Morphine. Well, you can always feel free to sign up for our notification newsletter. It goes to your email. And we send out an email about 15 minutes before we go live, whether it's on YouTube or Kick or what have you. And so there's I really like the round ones. And look at the flash in that. All right, so now we're going to resize it. Coming up like that. And you don't have to do it this way. I understand it's not everybody's cup of tea to have the ring bands like this. This is just what's been working for us in our booth. There's lots of folks who very successfully just make like all of their rings to specific sizes. Well, hey, Ella. Do you use the metallic craft wire in antique copper? I think so. I'm not entirely certain what Parawire's terms for it are. They've got the silvered. Actually, let's go visit their website real quick. Oh my gosh. It's hard work being a cat all day, you guys. It really is. But there's our finger ring. All right, let me pull up the Parawire website. Oh, I'm sorry, Ember. I didn't mean to disturb you. I didn't mean to disturb you. Okay. So here we are at the Parawire website. Boop. And so I usually go to shop and then I'll click Craftwire. And so I'll use their metallic colors as well as their silver plated craft wire, because in their metallic colors, you can see over here, it's a lot of their like deeper tones, which are really lovely. It's got a whole like display here. But yeah, so from the metallic, oh, and they've got the metallic verses that are silver plated too. So the silver plating really gives the colors, like look at that blue versus that blue. Like, I really think that's affected in its brightness by the silver plating underneath. I use almost exclusively their antique copper, their vintage bronze, their natural tone, which has the look of bright copper, but you don't have to polish it or anything like that. But none of these will oxidize with liver of tarnish, you guys. Yeah, it says natural is pure copper wire with a clear coating over top. The wire you receive will be a shiny copper. For bare copper, which is pure copper with no coating, see our bare wire page. But the nice thing about this is I think you can click here. Yeah, you can get a 5-foot spool or a 50-foot spool, and those are my favorites. Oh, I'd love to get some 12 gauge in some of these. But I've had the best luck with the antique copper, the vintage bronze. What are the other? Oh, I haven't tried their brushed silver, but I usually get the titanium tone because their silver can turn a little gold over time, but I've not had that effect with the titanium. Now, the titanium can, especially on finger rings, start to wear off over like extended duration of wear. Um, but they also sell sterling and silver filled. And there's also like Argentinium wire. Like there's all sorts of different options out there. Okay, let's see. What program do you use for credit cards? Randy and I use Square. We have some friends who use like PayPal, but I like Square because it takes all the little phone tappy things that people do nowadays. Those did not exist when Randy and I first started our business. We used knuckle busters, is what we called them. You'd use that machine that has like you put carbon paper in it and it makes a copy, and you have to call the bank at the end of the day, so long as it's still within business hours. Um, so yeah, we just use Square for. Oh, Ember, I hate to disturb you, but I've gotta work, honey. Vaughn, when I grow up, I want to be a kitty cat. Same. Let's just pet this cat for a minute. She's such a good girl. Holding up the whole show. Ah, Steffi just is. I remember the Knuckle Busters. I still have one of those somewhere. The future is now. The future is now. It's just the only thing, Ember, is that you're literally directly on all of my stuff. I have to move you. I'm sorry. She says, no, no, don't move me. Oh, sweet baby. It's okay. I'll hold you while we shuffle. What color should we do next, you guys? Oh, okay. I'll let you down. Oh, look at all that space. Well, we've gotten 3 rings wrapped in an hour and 20 minutes. That's not the worst. Let's see if we can go full mode and please hold the ring up so I compare what I have. Either missed a step or added one not needed. Oh, right on. And we're fixing to wrap another, Barbie. Rest break, a reset break, right? No, no work. No, except for Dragon Con is coming. I need rings made. Hey, Randy. Ember is terrorizing me. Will you come help me by taking this? I know she can't be reasoned with. All right. Let me just move everything off of the table. Go with Daddy. Yeah. Thank you, honey. Well, oh, it breaks my heart too because I do want to craft with her, but I've got to get this done. Gotcha. Okay. Does she bite you if you don't pet her correctly? Yes. Our older cat, if you don't pet her the way she wants to be petted or when you were bitten. She's so helping. She's not helping. All right, I'm going to do another antique copper, but let me get a couple of these up to... It goes by so much faster for me if I just do them in batches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So at the 7-inch mark, or a little farther back from it actually, maybe 6.5, we're gonna do the wedge. We're gonna do a 90-degree bend. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're gonna set it off to the side. And then we're gonna take these 2 wires, come about 6.5 inches in, wedge up, 1, 2, 3, 4, put it in the pile, coming about 6.5 inches in. Oh, Lita, I'm so sorry. Was she often an inside-outside cat? Yes. Batches as in 1 step on several rings, then next step on several rings. Yep. Mostly just getting this first step done, because this is the hard part for me. This is the part where I finish the ring and my brain's like, time for a break. And it's just kind of hard to focus. Whereas if I get all of them prepped, my brain will be like, we must focus until they are done. And then I can hyperfixate and get some work done. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us, Tessa. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Did you hear her protest? The spare human is not what she wanted. She will acquiesce because she loves him, though. Oh, I'm the spare human. She loves Randy. Like, I think he was busy with the kiln or something, and that's the only reason she came to me. Aw. Hey, Pam. Oh, thank you so much. That makes my day. Says, I love your channel, Yvonne. I just ordered myself some wire wrapping tools. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, what kind of projects do you think you're going to be tackling first, Pam? Amazing. Amy says, that is my current situation. Trying to wrap with Orange Cat in my elbow, telling my floof to chill, and remembering that orange cats have no chill, right? Pushing down on that. Let's get that split going. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, she's an inside-outside cat. My daughter was here, but I had been away for several days. My dad was at the hospital. So when I got home, I couldn't find her anywhere. Oh no, Rita. Oh man. That's hard. I wouldn't be able to rest, you know? Like, just, gosh. Have you done the Facebook Pets Lost and Found for your area? Because sometimes, even if it's bad news, just having closure can be... 2, 3, 4, gotcha. Yeah. Well, this is going to sound... how like a cat to go wander off and slip through a portal across the Rainbow Bridge without us there to see them off. That's super handy. I wonder what the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. So just a little longer than the ring clamp. Anything to not have to use a ruler. She must have been a Jellicle cat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you make or purchase your wooden holder? I purchased this from the Amazonians. I got it on Amazon. It was like $8. You can make your own, and I've seen some people make some great ones that have like wing nuts and stuff. I really like this one because it just has that little swivel clamp going on in there in the middle. But I do recommend getting the ones that have the leather already in them because it keeps it, like I can cinch down all the way with the clamp and it doesn't bite my wire the way that the bare wood can. So there's all of our wires prepped up to that point. And so which one we're going to do those for silver. Okay. But yeah, I like having just all the steps lined up. And I like not having the wing nuts because I get tangled on those with my wire. It's because I'll use that a lot to hold my work whenever I'm doing wire weaving. And so I'm just going to come in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then get this side splayed out to like that. Yeah, Pam. It's tricky to keep an eye on the kitties. Okay. And so I'm going to do the other round one just because those are so fun and easy. Like they really are. And again, just trying to make sure that I'm getting it lined up with like the center line. Oh, well, if you do, Pam, be sure to use coupon code HAPPYCRAFTER to get 10% off your order. And we do hope to have some new items in the shop next week. We just weren't able to manage a shop update this week with the heat and just everything going on. Okay, so now we're going to do a teardrop. And so I want to make sure that I'm nice and lined up with where I want the center of the stone to be whenever it's mounted on the ring. And then that's probably the trickiest part, is making sure that the twist starts happening in the right spot. And gotta press it down to make sure it's lined up with the groove. And then I'm just prepping them all for the next step, which is, of course, cinching. Hence the making them look like little TIE fighters with their wires going off like that. All crazy. Sarah says, my sis calls Amazon amazing. Pam says, I went to master wire wrapping evenly on both sides. Practice will get you where you're going. Practice makes progress. Alright, so now we're going to do another teardrop. And this one, we can have it be a little more offset too. Some folks might like that. And that's okay too. So this would be a fantastic way to kick off a circlet. And what I mean by that, let's do the fourth one, is like a circlet or a necklace. So let's say you have some memory wire that has some beads on it, but you want to set this onto the memory wire and like wrap it so that it's like a little bit of like a collar necklace or like a oh, I just saw two moths that I think are in love. Or they're fighting. I don't know. Love and war look a lot the same in nature sometimes. there's that one. Gonna grab this one, which is an antique copper. So let's do. But yeah, it's actually surprisingly easy to just unwind the wires from each other, which is why I like to do the 4 twists, because at least you have to really be untwisting it actively to undo your work. Alright, let's get that where it's nice and in line. And then we'll find the center line. Well, hey, Patricia in Brooklyn. How are you doing today? 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, so this one, it's a little more offset to the side. I think that'll be all right, because sometimes it can give you a ring that's a little bit more presented. And I think it makes my fingers look longer whenever I have a ring that sits a little offset to here as opposed to just right here. So it depends on the look that you're looking for. Archie says, I like that. Practice makes progress. I've always heard practice makes perfect, and we all know that that's not exactly true. Yeah. No, there's no such thing as perfect, but there is progress for sure. And that's always worth, especially whenever the practice feels like play. Like if you're doing something that you're enjoying doing, and then it's not as much of a grind, perhaps, to be grinding out a skill set. Okay, so I'm going to do this round one. Oh, look at that, the flash in that lab. Sometimes I'll get so sucked into my work that I forget that I get to play with pretty rocks for a living. But gotta slow down and enjoy the shinies. Oh, so pretty. That's going to be a really nice ring. Because I find, for me, necklaces and earrings, those are jewelry for other people to see when I'm wearing, because I can't see my earrings unless I'm looking in like a mirror, but I can really enjoy a nice finger ring. Well, right, Peggy? And I'm really excited too, because all of these cabs that I'm wrapping today, I pulled literally from the bin that we're going to be shipping out of. Like, and I didn't like pick out the prettiest ones. I just grabbed the first 10 and I was like, all right, let's make 10 rings for the booth in today's live stream. Oh, that's pretty too. So y'all, these are representative of the quality of labradorites that y'all can expect with a groove in your kits for the month of August. And you can see a full tour of what you can expect in your kit in the tutorial that's August's Craft Along project. There we go. So now that step's done, and now I go ahead, oh wait, we gotta cinch them. Let's go ahead and cinch all of them. So just making sure that the wires are lined up, grasping with my flat nose pliers, and then just doing a twist. Getting it lined up, and giving it a nice solid twist. Ooh, Hannah says, I honestly enjoy earrings for the weight of them sometimes. The feeling of them swinging around as I move throughout the day is oddly addicting. They are fun to wear, that is true. I've got some big old honkin' tiger's eye crystals that I just love wearing because of the, exactly as you've said, because of the weight of them. Ooh, Patricia says, you make it look so easy to wrap a stone. Do they have a groove along the sides? They do. And so you may be able to see here, we're sending out grooved labradorite cabochons among some other fused glass cabochons in our Happy Crafter kits for August. And ever since I hurt my hand, years ago at this point, I think it was in 2022, but I didn't let it heal for like 2 years because, we're running a business and got to keep crafting and can't sell it if I don't make it. So these grooved cabs have been a fantastic way for me to maintain production, essentially, of our handmade artwork for our business, without me having to do super intricate wraps on every single piece. I still really enjoy doing complex weaves and stuff, but this lets me make a ring that I think is quite beautiful. You know, it's my style. It might not be your cup of tea, but it certainly is mine. I'll have another cup of that, please. But yeah, adding the groove was just absolutely game changing. And you can do simple minimalist designs quite easily with it, but it also incorporates really, really well into mixed media pieces like this one here, again with a grooved wrap. It's just a way of it turning a cabochon into a bead, but instead of the bead having a hole that goes through it, it has a groove that goes around it. So, very fun. Ah, well, thank you so much, Divine, for coming here and hanging out with us today. So I'm just cinching in the step now. We have a whole tutorial on this style of ring that I'm wearing that I was kind of doing a live demo of today, but simultaneously, since it is Dragon Con prep season, we leave for Dragon Con September 1st, so I've got to get, I gotta get all sorts of stuff made before then, because we can only do as well as what we have inventory to sell. So ooh, that's a good question. Lita Lee asked, can I ask what you would sell your rings for that you're making now? At least 25. I'm gonna look at where our other rings are priced at, because it's important to me to have $5 rings, $10 rings, $15 rings, $20 rings, $25 rings. Like, I like to be able to hit all the price points, kind of moving my way up to, I don't know. Should I charge more than 25 for these? Should I charge like 300? I don't know. Maybe if I were working in sterling or something, or even then, I'm not super great at pricing my work. I usually leave that up to my Randy. Oh, big old hunk of cat fur. That's a good assortment. And that's what I'm hoping for, is that, and so a lot of it, whenever I price within that framework, it takes the pressure off, you know, if I spend $5 on a ring for the cab and the wire, I cannot charge less than 15 for it. Just by my own, like, business logic. So, Steffi Joe says, I hate pricing. Same, and doing it that way kind of takes the pressure off, because I can be like, I'd like to make as much profit as possible, but I know that our customers would like to get the best deal as possible. And so if I can just kind of make jewelry to fit into those pre-established price points, then I no longer have to worry about how much time it's taking me, because ideally, the more I do something, the faster I'll get. So I don't want to charge by the hour, because it's almost rewarding me working slow. You know, which is not a bad thing. But I don't charge by the time, because after years and years of this, some of the pieces I can really get knocked out quick. But I don't think I should charge less just because I can make it faster. Ooh, Barbie, that's a good point. I would think size and shape of cab makes a difference. It certainly can. Yeah, bigger cab would be bigger price tag. Lita says, I sell all my rings for $5, but they're very simple. I want to start building to a higher price, like you said, different price lines. Yeah, and one of the best ways that you can do that to start with could be to just do the same simple wrap, but with a larger bead. Like, we do a simple ring wrap with a 6mm bead. That's $5 for the design. And then we do one with an 8mm bead. That's $8 for the design. And they sell like crazy. So, and then you could use like a really nice, like, pretty bead and do for like $10, like a malachite bead or something, or like a coin bead, or I usually only price for the website, so I try to price high enough to have a sale and still make a bit of profit. That's good thinking. That's real good thinking. But no, I have to be 100% honest with you guys. I'm not in this for the money. If I was in it for money, I'd have just gotten a job. um, like, we've been able to make a very happy living at this, but Randy and I will likely never be wealthy off the back of just jewelry. Like, it's really helped that, like, we make our living off of kits and YouTube. So thank you guys for being here and watching our YouTube channel, because even without like super chats or subs or anything like that, just being able to teach has, that's where my passion's at. Like, if we won the lottery, I'd make jewelry because I like teaching, but also I like buying beads. And I had made a deal with myself that if I made it into a business, then I wouldn't have to spend like the money that we should be like saving up for like living our life and having a retirement and things. Like, that'd be nice. But if I can get my hobby to pay for itself, then there should be no reason why I can never buy beads. And so I just make jewelry so that I can buy more beads, so I can make more jewelry, so I can buy more beads. It's a vicious cycle. All right, on Kimmy says, I make simpler rings than that. They sell for $20 to $25. You really need to sell those for more. Right on. I'd like to sell them for as much as humanly possible. So, again, so I can buy more beads. Yep, sometimes the buying is even more fun than the making. Yes, yes, it is. Collecting beads and cabochons, I think, is a perfectly valid and viable hobby in and of itself. But just the fact that Randy and I have been able to make a living off of this has been the greatest dream come true. Everything else is just extra bonus. All right, so now there's that step done. And so now I can actually start putting pliers away. Oh, that's nice. Example, my craft room. Hee hee hee. All right, let's get our ring mandrel out. And I just like to tuck that wire behind the cab. I'm making spiders right now. I've made sun catchers, pendants, and a really cool ring that I'll probably keep for myself. I don't think it'll hold up, but it's super cute. Oh, well, being able, keeping it for yourself lets you test wear it. That'll be nice. Okay, so yeah, I just like to do 2 wraps. I just like the way it fleshes out on the sides and holds its integrity when we pull it off of the ring mandrel. So there's one. And Patricia says, quite a healthy addiction. Sure. Yes, definitely, says the enabler. Artsy says, that's what I'm looking for, a hobby that pays for itself. I'm on a limited income, so it should be very cool. Or it would be very cool if what I make could bring in money so I can make more. I love the act of making things. Same. And also, gosh, I love vending. Like, I really do. Like, I get to meet people. I get to have conversations with other crafters. Like, it is my favorite way of socializing, and it's been the way that I've made, other than streaming, I've made all of my friends through vending. Because they also like play, Randy calls it money making game, when like he'll be playing Zelda or something and he's like, all right, time to play money making game, and it's where you do the thing to sell it, to have rupees so that you can then buy the thing to do it's just money making game. It's my favorite. Let's see. And the thing is I'm the same way about saving seeds. It's like I'm going to plant the flowers so that I can grow the flowers, so I can save the seeds, so I can plant the flowers, so I can grow the flowers. I just love that whole like cyclical good stuff. But going out and vending's been a lot of fun. Keeping a website is not my favorite because computers, yeah, they make me tired. But y'all, oh my gosh, even through the heat, I brought my walking pad down from upstairs. And so, oh, that has changed everything. I have been replying to my emails, I've been doing video editing, walking on my walking pad. So, like, even with all the heat, we're still, I've been getting my steps in. And so I think I just hate feeling chained to a computer, doing administrative computery things. I like doing something, and just I only walk at like 1.6 miles per hour. Um, it's a very slow, meandering walk, but it's helped so much with, like I'll get like a nerve in my butt cheek gets real mad if I sit too much. And then I'm like, I can't be like, Randy, I need you to pound me butt. And he's like, what? And I'm like, my sciatica. He's like, oh, okay. But, so walking on my walking pad, I call it my hamster wheel. But we did have it upstairs because it was my favorite way to like go decompress. But now that we can't run that air conditioning unit up there, I'm like, well, if I'm going to be sweaty, I may as well be getting my steps in too. Yes, make the coins to buy the Master Sword to beat the monster. Yep. Happy Zelda memories unlocked. Yeah, sciatica sucks. But it's also helped my elbow and shoulders because motion is lotion, y'all. And just the swinging of my arms while I'm walking. Like anytime I'm watching YouTube or anything now, at least for the past week, I'm hoping that this will be a new lifestyle habit change for me. But I am crafting right now without any pain. And I know my shit's about to flare up just because I've said something, but it makes me so happy to be able to craft without being in excruciating, like, fiery pain in my shoulder or elbows or butt cheeks. So, boom. So there's another one. And it's just anything to piggyback little habits. We got to take care of our joints. We got to live to craft another day. I've officially reached the point where I have to train like a Super Saiyan just so I can sit as much as I want to. Ooh, we're hoping this Friday, Pam. We're hoping to have more grooved cabochons this Friday. But a surefire way to make certain that you do get some is our craft along kits for August. You'll definitely get at least one groovy tab depending on which side you get. Right? Steffi Joe says, it is. I work at a computer all day and tend to rest my elbows on the desk and slump too. It's bad. Yeah. No, I feel ya. And I'm guilty of it too because I'll lean on my elbow right over here. So posture check, rolling the shoulders. We're making good progress though. Gotta keep going. 2 more rings to get up to that stage. Making sure that I'm not crossing the wires over each other. I'm going to tuck that one like behind. Where's Randy? He's been so quiet this morning. Randy is over on his computer doing Randy things. He finished all of his scale shoulders, and I flat out, told him, I was like, I need you to relax and be rejuvenated and as refreshed as possible because he takes care of all the driving whenever we go to Dragon Con because I'm not driving in Atlanta. And he does the bulk of the work loading the van. He does the bulk of the work unloading the van. Like, he'll joke and be like, I'm a beast of burden. And I'm like, you kind of are, babe. Thank you, though. But I'm like, I need you to be super refreshed so that we can abuse you whenever we get to Atlanta. Um, and like, because he was like, well, if you're working, then I'm working, and I'm like, babe, this is my stretch to be carrying the torch on these 21 dragon heads. And he makes it seem like, whenever he says that, it makes it seem like he's not constantly helping me with every single thing, as well as running the house. Abuse him anew. Yep. But like, he's been taking care of way more of the household things because I enjoy cooking. I don't mind it a bit that I do the bulk of the cooking, and he loads the dishwasher, and we each have our chores, but we suffer together through them. But he's been doing all of it, all the yard work, all the everything while I work on these dragon heads, as well as helping me with anything that I need on the dragon heads. So but so I hope he's getting some much deserved relaxation in, because I'm about to be putting him to work on gessoing a few more, doing another gesso layer on the dragon heads for me, and he's going to be helping me doing the sculpting on these guys. This is one without. Let me show you what it looks like after. He's going to be helping me to do the sculpting on these. And the way that he's going to be helping is he'll be getting the freeform air packed on there, and then I'm going to be going through and doing the sculpting. So these still aren't done yet. They're going to get another sculpt layer, and they're going to get painted. So, but I'm pretty excited about those. Oh, goodness, Pam. Oh, goodness. All right, let's see what we can do here. So right here, I want to keep our core wires, the ring band wires from twisting, and I want to keep these wires parallel to each other. So I'm wrapping both wires around the ring band, which inevitably tangles it up a little, but that's okay. We just get them a little untangled. And then we're going to come in here with these two wires, and I'm pressing with my thumb to keep them flat. There we go. And then I'm going to give it a squish, and I'm going to give it a smush. There we are. Well, that is fantastic. He does work so hard. He really does. Like, have you ever thought of doing opal groovy cabs? Oh, that'd be amazing. I don't know much about opals. I don't know if, how they would hold up to it. Alright, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to do that step on all of these. Taking both wires, bringing them around, making sure it's not twisted, and giving it a smush. But yeah, if y'all'd like to see the progress that we've been making on the dragon heads, be sure to stop by. We're just doing a short stream today over on Kick, but from 3 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're going to be streaming at kick.com/back-to-earth-creations. And I'm going to show the progress that we made on the dragons yesterday. We actually made some fantastic progress on Maple after the stream, because I went and I watched Descendants 5 with my friend, and we ate Chinese food, and just had a really good, sometimes you just gotta go watch some musicals, okay? And it was a really nice, fun evening, and then we came home, and I think I worked until like 9:30 on the dragon heads. And I only got one dragon to like complete and ready for paint, but that's all right. I understand that these things are just going to take time. Is that scoliosis? Right on. But yeah, it was just lighthearted and fun. I loved the sets and the costumes and stuff. And I wasn't a theater kid, and Glee hadn't come out yet when I was in high school. But I get it. Like, I really liked Cats the musical probably too much. So yeah. Aw, oh, Pam. Well, I'm glad my voice isn't just, chewing on glass in y'all's ear. It's the one I was given, so I'm gonna do with it what I can. But having Randy in my life, I'm gonna say, is there's no better luck than meeting your best friend in high school and then marrying his ass. And it's been fantastic. He's been such a good friend and such a good buddy. Like, he just looks out for me, and he lets me look out for him too, because sometimes when people are very independent, it can feel like rejection. And Randy is very independent, but he leans on me, and it, lets me lean on him, and it's just real nice that we can be independent together. If that makes sense. So we've got one more minute. I don't think I'm gonna stay until we get these done, just because I can't move on to my next project until they're done anyway. So may as well be streaming it. There's my timer saying time for the next task. But I've already scheduled the newsletter for this afternoon's kick stream, so we can go a little over today. But yeah, when Randy and I found each other, we were in high school, and we were both just like desperate for a port in a storm of chaos. So we became each other's port of just stability. And it's real nice to have somebody to count on. Okay, so yeah, just making sure nothing's getting twisted. There we go. Peggy says, there's my alarm again. So now from here, we come up, and we're going to do just a little twist, like a little spiral, like a little loop, and then we're going to spiral around it. And I take just the one top wire that's closest to the cab. And I don't want to twist it off. I want it to be centered up over the center line of the ring band. And I'm going to get up to that step on each of these rings. When you get to the spiral part, will you talk through it? That's where I messed up, I think. Okay. And so, for sure, Barbie, I leave the wire that's closer to the bottom, like farther away from the cab. I leave it alone, and I just take the one here. And you see how I start bending it up? And I like to sometimes put my finger over it just to make sure that it's two-dimensional instead of protruding out. So there's that one. And then again on this side, I'm taking the one wire. Sometimes we can make a little bit bigger of a spiral. Ah, okay. You're not being dumb at all, Barbie. That's a perfectly good way of doing it. It's just a different way. And there's a million different ways of wrapping a ring. Like you could totally just spiral up on one and spiral down on the other. But I do that on a lot of my rings, and I wanted to do something a little different on these guys. Got 2 more to do that step on. But yeah, I love working on multiple rings at a time or multiple projects at a time because it lets me go into like daydream mode where my hands just keep doing the same thing that they were doing, and I just do that step. And that's usually where I'll have ideas, on like the 10th or 15th of a repetition of a project to be like, oh, what if we did that, but we shaped it to look a little bit more like a leaf, like the spiral, or made it a little more geometric, or we could put a little bead on there and bring it around. And if I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's the best idea, because like about a bead, it might make it really wide. And it's like, well, on a wider stone, that might not be great, but on a narrower stone, it would probably look really cool to have a little bead on either side. And now, the way that I have the wires positioned is the wire that's coming off the spiral is, I like for it to be angled down a little lower because that's where I'm going to place my finger and snip. Place my finger and snip. I don't want to be snipping this wire that's only been wrapped around the ring band because we've got plans for that one and I want all the length on it that I can get. So again, coming down here, just using a finger width because I've always got my hands on me. Ooh, that one was real close. I'm still going to snip it just for shits and giggles. I guess I did the spiral in the other direction on this one. That's okay. Just feels funny in my hands, but... But yeah, just always, the only thing I'm looking for right here is making sure I'm snipping the correct wire. And I like that by using my finger width, I don't have to screw around with holding a ruler or anything like that, but it gives me consistency. You know, whenever we're learning, whenever we're crafting, when we're being creative, I don't know if there is a such thing as being dumb. Like, there probably is, but we're to be curious and to try something and to fail is not dumb. You're learning. That's the opposite of dumb. Like, so I'm going to say I have failed more than I have succeeded over all these years. But you just keep learning and your attempts become more and more successful. But if we're looking for failure, we're always going to find it. You know, and I don't think it's fair to move the goalpost on ourselves for so don't make it, if you're making a wire wrapped ring and it fails and it didn't come out the way that you wanted, don't move the goalpost. Have your project, your goal out the gate be, I'm going to make a ring. Don't be moving that goalpost being like, I made a ring, but it's not perfect, so it's a failure. It's like, no, that's not, that is not productive thinking. You gotta be your number one fan, your biggest supporter has got to be within your own mind, because otherwise your number one enemy can take root in there and gunk up the whole system. Just making a little spiral on the tip there. Don't expect yours to be the same as hers. That's a good point too. I've been doing this for years and every one I make looks a little different, even when I copy a tutorial. Yeah, that's part of the beauty of it too that I love is I want to see what your hands made, because only your hands can do what your hands do. Instead of aha moments, it's well, that didn't work and won't do it again. Well, or that didn't work, but let's try again. And that's usually where the aha moments will start to happen, to be like, okay. And you'll be pleased to know the cat fur is actually wrapped directly into the rings. So... Failing is the way of learning, so long as you don't continue in making the same mistake, right? Though I'm going to say sometimes I've benefited from making the same stupid mistake like 20 times, because if that's what it takes for me to learn, then I shall suffer till the lesson sinks in. I'll try 20 different ways, but it'll be 20 little failures of figuring it out, and that's okay. All right, on Amazing Amy. Y'all, this heat. All right. This will be our last one together because my hands are so sweaty that I'm having a hard time holding on to the ring. But Randy and I are going to go sit in front of the air conditioner for a little bit and have some lunch. And we will see you guys in our Kick live stream where we will be kicking off the afternoon craft session. We're still having our level 7 giveaways. We have quite a few folks who are really close to level 7 in chat. And we also have our top chatter award will be going out. We've got that going on in August as well. And we will see you guys over there. So thank you so much for being here today. I hope that it was helpful to you. If you have any questions or anything, please do feel free to send us an email or to leave a comment down below, or however you like, or come see us in our live stream and ask us there. But that's not bad. We got 5 rings made and 5 more to quite nearly made. So we'll see you there, guys. Happy crafting. Mwah. Bye.